Have you ever faced an opponent whose central pawns seem to march forward relentlessly, cramping your pieces and dictating the flow of the game? It can feel like your position is suffocating. But what if there was a clear strategy to prevent that from happening, to keep their pawns from ever achieving that dominant central grip? Preventing your opponent from gaining central pawn control primarily involves a combination of active piece development, timely pawn breaks, and strategic control of key central squares. By contesting the center early and consistently, you can limit their pawn advances and restrict their piece mobility, effectively shutting down their central ambitions before they fully materialize. The fundamental reason central pawn control is so critical is that the center of the board offers maximum influence over all areas. Pawns in the center restrict enemy pieces, open lines for your own, and provide ideal outposts for knights and bishops. By preventing your opponent from achieving this, you deny them critical space, limit their options, and undermine their ability to launch effective attacks or maneuver their pieces freely. This strategic denial is a powerful form of prophylaxis, anticipating and neutralizing their plans. To practically prevent central pawn control, begin by prioritizing rapid development of your minor pieces towards the center, aiming for squares like c3, f3, c6, and f6 for knights, and active diagonals for bishops. Look for opportunities to play immediate pawn breaks, such as d5 or e5 as black, or d4 or e4 as white, to directly challenge and undermine their central pawns. When an opponent's central pawn does advance, consider placing a blockading piece, often a knight, directly in front of it to stifle its further progress. Always keep pressure on the squares in front of their central pawns with your pieces and other pawns. A sophisticated understanding of pawn structures is key here. Learning to identify potential pawn levers, which are pawn moves that create tension and open lines, allows you to proactively disrupt your opponent's central intentions. Consider the importance of dynamic rather than static central control. Sometimes it is better to allow a pawn to advance if you can immediately attack it with pieces or undermine it with a counterpawn break. This focus on tension and counterplay is more effective than simply trying to hold every central square at all costs. Mastering these techniques of active development, timely pawn breaks, and dynamic central engagement ensures your opponent cannot establish an overwhelming central presence. This not only safeguards your own position, but also provides a platform from which to launch your own initiatives, leading to a more comfortable game and better chances for victory.